Welcome back to Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Monday, April 9th, 2018. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. Lately, I've been starting to hear some buzz surrounding the Toronto Pro that's set to go down in a few weeks, where it looks like we'll get our first chance to see veteran standout Jeff Beckham put his talents on full display. Over the weekend, we had a rare Jeff Beckham sighting when we caught him knocking out a few sets of heavy rack pulls and still looking every bit a solid 260 pounds. Throughout his career, Beckham's been a guy who we've seen pull off a few really interesting outings when you least expected it. So as long as he can stay consistent over these next few weeks, it's not hard to imagine a scenario where he ends up delivering a memorable top performance. Now that spring training is finally here, all my New York sports fans finally have something we can get excited about. But even all the super pumped Yankee fans out there would have to admit that there's no one on the roster who can slug it out with veteran big man Jon Della Rosa. Late last week, Della Rosa and his team released a few new updates 7 weeks out from their trip back to the New York Pro stage, where the former Olympian will be looking to get his contest season back on track after a less than memorable Arnold Classic. After going back to the drawing board, expectations are riding high in the Della Rosa camp right now. But if he can deliver a legitimate lights-out performance and show flashes of that guy that we saw at last year's contest, it would go a long way towards building some momentum down that midsummer stretch. Sometimes there's nothing like a little bit of success to really get your juices flowing. And after the brilliant performance she pulled off 2 weeks ago to win the Governor's Cup, emerging figure star Nadia Wyatt definitely looks like she's got it flowing. The latest updates coming from the Wyatt camp show the fourth-year pro looking sharper than ever. Throughout her career, Wyatt's always been someone who started out her season coming off strong out of the gates. But the real key to establishing herself as one of the top-tier athletes in the division will be figuring out how to maintain that momentum over the course of the season. So if she can get together with her team and come up with a plan to stay consistent over the long haul, she's a quiet contender to do some damage as we start to creep later into the schedule. It never ceases to amaze me how you can pump up a guy with a few carbs, some salt, some water, and some quality lighting after a show and have him look like he's the next Mr. Olympia. But even still, I have to say that Luke Sandoe looks pretty damn amazing right now. A little more than a week after crushing a top 3 performance at the Indy Pro, the UK powerhouse isn't wasting any time getting right back to business. Since wrapping up his affairs in Indy, Sandow and his team have trickled out a handful of progress photos that have been flat out ridiculous, which is a testament to the kind of work ethic this guy has, considering he's got only a handful of shows into his pro career. Pound for pound, Sandow has enough muscle to hang in there with just about anyone right now. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do these next few months as the contest season rages on. I think starting off your week with a badass arm pump is probably a good way to set the tone for something epic. So I guess the world better be on high alert for whatever's coming next from 212 bad boy Quincy Winklaar. Today, the lighter half of Team Winkler was spotted knocking out a few sets of some intense arm action as he starts to round off the edges from phase 1 of his 2018 plans. Winkler is coming off what was probably the best season of his pro career, highlighted by a tremendous top 10 effort at the 2017 Arnold Classic. So if he can start the year off by building on that momentum, cracking the top 3 in the right lineup is entirely within the realm of possibilities. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions, and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.